Hey there, Jack here.
And Michelle.
And we wanted to do a quick video about the discussion we've seen going on in our My Open Path Facebook community. And that discussion was about?
Well, what I have noticed is that as part of this My Open Path community, we have investors that are at all levels of investing. Some of you in this group are already doing 2-3 deals a month or a quarter. Some others are just getting started. Some of you are already doing 100 deals, a year, and so on and so forth. So, but something that I have seen, I would say over the last 2-3 months that it's been happening is that there's a lot of questions from people that already are doing enough deals. They know how to buy their property. They know how to sell. So a lot of the tactical stuff on how to go about doing this business, they already know, but there's a more intangible, but that is equally important, I think, that we need to discuss and that we need to talk about. There's some intangibles.
All right, so one particular theme we have coming up is that sometimes deals go all the way to the finish line and then sellers back out at the last moment,
Yeah.
right? That's something that's been happening to a few people. Not everyone is the interesting thing.
Or buyers.
Or buyers, yeah, that's what I mean. Or buyers,
Yeah.
sellers or buyers that have been backing out at the last moment. They're excited about the property and then they go silent. Or sellers are excited to sell the property, but then they don't show up for the closing and so on. Now, it's only happening, I would think, to about perhaps 5% of the deals that we see out there. At least that's being shared on the My Open Path group. But I think we find it a little bit unusual because to us, it's not really happening. Never has really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, to our mentors, it's not happening. Never has really happened. And to a lot of the people who do higher volume, it's not happening and it hasn't really happened. So we basically had a conversation about that. Michelle had this startups like, why is this happening? And I think Michelle came up with some really brilliant things.
I don't know if they're brilliant.
That shed a little bit light on that. And they're really nothing to do with not that much to do with the actual technique. There's some tactical things you can do, like stay in contact with your sellers, stay in contact with your buyers, ask your buyers more about what they want. But there's also some intangibles.
And we usually discuss and talk about these, like at the UB, the Ultimate Boardroom.
Right.
That's kind of like the level of conversation. Nobody that is in there is anymore trying to learn the tactical aspects of it. But I felt a need to basically also share some of those conversations in this group.
Absolutely.
And so the first thing that I notice is that it comes, or some of these issues may be coming from a lack of clarity in terms of the relationship you as the investor, as the owner of your business, the relationship that you have with yourself. Number one.
And by the way, this is not to just speak to the people who have that happen. If you're a beginning investor right now and you're not yet at that step, please listen very careful to what Michelle has to say, because what she's talking about is crucial for any business success, for any life success, really. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's no clarity in terms of a relationship with yourself, with others, with God, the divine source, whatever you're going to call it. There's those 3 layers. But number one, the first layer is you. And you as a leader of your business, of your new investment, business that you are starting or that you've been working for a few years now, or a few months, you need to basically, as the leader, kind of like mold and define the DNA of your business. And part of defining and molding and the DNA of your business comes with you establishing and identifying what do you stand for and what do you stand against. And what I mean by that what are your core values? Core values are so fundamental and they must be enduring, actionable, but they're, like I said, there's things that you stand for and things that you stand against in terms of just how you want to be treated as a person, how you want to treat others, and so on and so forth, and therefore help steer your company in terms of how you're going to service your customer, whether the customer is a seller or whether the customer is a buyer. That is also going to steer the type of customers that you're going to attract into your business. That it's going to also guide the type of team people, employees or team members that are going to be part of your team, of your business, of your growing business. And so I thought that it's something that we need to talk about, that is important, that it should be in your radar, that if you have not given thought to it, it's time for you to start thinking about what are your values, how do you want to be treated, how do you want to treat your customers, and help those values basically guide you whenever you have to make any difficult decisions. Yeah.
And not only that, but also this is absolutely brilliant because it really gives you a compass, in a sense, for your life and for your business. But if you actually implement it, what will happen is when you have a conversation with a buyer or with a seller, your conversation will be much clearer. It will be much clearer what you have to offer to them and what you have, either buyer or seller. And as a result, they will be less likely of actually backing out, because you're showing up more instead of showing up not knowing exactly what the deal is going to be and not having a clear picture. You show up with a crystal clear, hey, this is what we're going to do for you. This is what's going to happen. This is how we operate. And this is what we stand for. And that seller sometimes buys into that more than they buy into the price that you have on that property.
Absolutely, because core values, what they do is they help differentiate your brand, your business, your company, you, the leader, basically, from the rest of the competition.
Right. And exactly. And on the selling side, the same thing. You stand like, this is who we are. This is what we do. And they're feeling much more comfortable buying from you. So as a result, they don't disappear.
And as you grow, your investing business, when it's time to bring a team member to come and help you and service either a seller or service your buyer, these are guiding principles that tell them how you're going to basically serve those customers. And those people that you you attract, you will attract because of these core values, because they stand for the same things, and they'll be in alignment with you. And that's how they're going to treat and turn your customer, whether it be your seller or your buyer.
Exactly. And that's particularly important if you're planning to add staff, or if you're doing it virtually, where you actually end up having to have staff because you're living in another country. We have more and more students from Germany, for example. I was interviewed in a few podcasts in Germany. As a result, there's a whole lot of people coming from Germany that want to do this in the United States. Not a whole lot, but a decent amount of people. And I'm very excited about that. And we have people wanting to do it from Asia. And we have a guy from Australia. It's in our mentorship program. Has done something like 28 deals in the first 4 months of being in our mentorship program. He's part of our Ultimate Boardroom right now also, because obviously once you reach a certain level of you qualify to that next step, where we have these kind of conversations where it's no longer about the tactical things, but it's about the really strategic thinking, how you 10x your business, how you go from $10,000 deals to $100,000 deals, etc., etc. So go ahead, Michelle. You wanted to show
so basically
one
this is one of the tools. It's called the Core Values Distiller, for CEOs. This is one of the tools that we share, with our members of the Ultimate Boardroom, and it's basically walking people through how do you distill your core values, and basically what do you start with, and I think inevitably what you need to start with is asking yourself, why do you do what you do, and what do you deeply care about? And that's, I think, a great starting point for this conversation, and for whoever's listening to this video right now and watching this video, as far as identifying what those values are. And you'll probably come up with a big list, and then you decide, okay, of these 10, really, which are my top 3, my top 5, and how can I group? Sometimes you'll see that there's 10 different things, but maybe 3 fall into kind of the same category, and so you start organizing them by theme, and that's kind of how you distill what you stand for, and then you create a statement around that, that theme, that really explains what you're trying, to convey to a customer, that will differentiate you from anyone else, and that will then be useful in attracting a team member that will also align with this value and service your customer in that way. And
that's, for example, a tool that we had our Ultimate Boardroom members go through, and actively go through at one of the sessions. And some of them did even an extra little session with us afterwards, or with you in this case. And it completely changed their world and changed their way that they're operating their business. It
helped them attract better team players. It helped them attract better customers, retain customers, because all of a sudden those core values are not just for your organization, but it's for you to share with your customers as well, as to how you do business and how you transact business and what the expectations on their end should be about how you will conduct yourself as a professional investor, in this transaction and so on and so forth. So I think that's kind of what we wanted to share. And
right. If you have questions about that, post them below the video. Right, I'll be happy to answer them, give more details about that, and talk to you more about how you can build a business that is sustainable, that is growing, and that is highly profitable.
Yeah, and if any of you are at the level where you would be interested in, having these types of conversations and being in a group with really high caliber individuals that are really very successful, please go ahead and either contact one of our team members and let them know that you're interested in the ultimate
post a comment underneath. Just like if you're interested in it, we'll make sure we contact you about that and see if you're fit for it. Because obviously this is a highly elite program, and but at the same time we want people in there, and we even have space for for at once every 10 kind of members is somebody who is just on a fast track record, even though they might only have done this for like a few months right now. So we have a couple of members in there. They've only done it for months, but they have now, I think, 24 deals under contract already, and like 10 sold or something like that. So you don't have to have the track record of many years. We want go-getters. They have already shown shown success, and they're on a fast path to blow the roof off this business.
Actually, our next meeting is right now May 14th, 15th?
Oh, 14th, 15th. That's
May
correct.
14th and 15th. So right before the live seminar.
So so you could even combine the trip if you qualify for the group. So try it out. Put your name on there, or contact us directly, or call our office. Either way, at 602-712-0183. I'm going to put the number on there, and then we can go from there. We're looking forward to having you there.
And if you're a beginning investor, just think about it. You're having already information on types of conversations that people way ahead of you, are having, and it's wonderful that you're having it at the beginning of your journey, and you can start basically building your company, your investment company, with these things in mind.
Because the time to implement this, the best time to implement this, is actually right at the very beginning. Most people don't do that though. They wait until they have a big organization and they have chaos. Well, don't wait until you have that. Build it in right now. All right? Well, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoyed this episode? Then make sure you like, subscribe, and post your comments and questions below the video. We're looking forward to hearing from you.